Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Grammar Lessons. My name's Nushin and this is English Path. Today's lesson is all about adverbs in English grammar. Adverbs are words that tell us more about verbs, adjectives, other adverbs, and even complete sentences like she drives carefully. Carefully is an adverb that is describing the way she drives, and drives is a verb. The story was really meaningful. Meaningful is an adjective, and really is intensifying it. Tom works very hard. How does Tom work? Very hard. First of all, hard is an adverb that is describing the way Tom works, and very is an adverb that is intensifying the adverb hard. Honestly, I think the film was terrible. So honestly is an adverb that is modifying the entire sentence. I think the film was terrible. Adverbs describe how, when, where, or to what extent something happens. For example, the birds were singing beautifully. How were they singing? Beautifully. Soon she will launch her website. When will she do it? There is a small garden outside. Where is there a small garden? This city gets extremely hot in summer. To what degree or to what extent does it get hot? Extremely hot. Adverbs that modify entire sentences are set off with commas. For example, unfortunately, the insurance company won't pay the costs. They didn't announce the reason why the CEO resigned, surprisingly. So it doesn't matter if you start your sentence with that adverb or end it with that adverb. It'll be set off with a comma. There are different types of adverbs. The first type I'm discussing today is adverbs of manner. As the name suggests, adverbs of manner show the manner or the way something is done, or the manner or way somebody does something. And most, not all, adverbs of manner end in ly. For example, carefully, slowly, quickly. Now, about slowly and quickly, there are some adverbs of manner that have two forms, like slow, slowly. Slow can be used as an adverb, but the thing is that slow is informal, and slowly is the formal and standard version that you can use in your writing tests, in the IELTS test, in academic writings, wherever you're writing them, or quickly, loudly, clearly. For example, he walks so slow. This is used in informal speech, but he walks so slowly is standard, formal, and academic. Not all adverbs of manner end in ly, like fast, hard, high. And not every word that ends in ly is an adverb. There are adjectives that end in ly, like friendly, lonely, lovely, silly, a friendly person, a lonely old man, a lovely day, a silly book. My previous video is all about adjectives and you can watch it here. It's also linked in the description. Some adverbs are the same as their corresponding adjectives. We call these bare or flat or simple adverbs, like fast. The adjective is fast, the adverb is also fast. Hard, high, late, early. For example, he walked fast. Fast is an adverb here because it's describing the way he walked. He's a fast walker. Fast is an adjective here because it is describing a noun. Also, if you need a lesson about nouns, I have linked my video on nouns here, and it is also linked in the description. She works hard. It is an adverb. And the exam was so hard. Hard is talking about the noun exam, so it's an adjective. It is true that you can form adverbs by adding ly to most adjectives. However, there are adjectives like late and hard that have nothing to do with their adverb forms. Like late means not on time. It's the opposite of on time. The adverb, which is late plus ly, lately, means recently. It's got nothing to do with not being on time. Or hard means not easy or not soft. Hardly means barely. For example, I could hardly see, which means I could almost not see at all. In most cases, adverbs of manner are used after the main verb. For example, she walked gently. Gently is the adverb that's been used after the main verb walked. However, if the verb has a direct object, then the adverb will be used before the verb or after the object. What's an object? A person or thing on whom or which the action is being performed. For example, she gently held the baby. This is correct. The adverb has been used before the verb. Or she held the baby gently. It's been used after the object. The baby is the object. The baby is on whom the action happens. She gently held the baby. But it's wrong to say she held gently the baby. So never use the adverb between the verb and the object, which is a very common mistake. Moving on to adverbs of degree like slightly, fairly, quite, very, extremely, etc. There are so many of them. These adverbs express the degree of the verb, adjective, or adverb. They intensify or weaken the meaning. Some examples. It's slightly cold out there, so I'm taking my jacket. Do the experiment extremely carefully. I'm almost finished with cleaning the house. Adverbs of place and time. Adverbs of place talk about the location, as in direction, distance, position, etc. of the action. And they're usually used at the end of the sentence, like, go there. They splashed water everywhere. And adverbs of time express when the action happens. And these are usually used at the end of the sentence too, like, I'm going out with my friends today, or we saw Donna yesterday. Adverbs of frequency, like always, sometimes, never. Here's the full list. We have more, but I've included the most common ones. These express or describe how often something happens. For example, I'm always on time. I never get bored with photography. Pay attention to the placement of these two adverbs of frequency. I am always, I never get. Adverbs of frequency are used after the verb be. Am, is, are, was, were, have been, has been, had been, any form of be. And they're used before main verbs, like I never get, I sometimes go. They usually listen, whatsoever. There is an exception. The adverb of frequency sometimes can be placed in the beginning of a sentence, like, sometimes I feel like I don't belong here, or I sometimes feel like I don't belong here. Common mistake alert. Adverbs can never be used with linking verbs. I have described what linking verbs are in my previous videos, but I'm going to tell you one more time. Linking verbs are those that talk about the state of the subject. So they connect or link the subject to an adjective, not an adverb. I feel great. Feel is a linking verb. It is beautiful. Be is a linking verb. It seems lovely out there. Seem is a linking verb. So linking verbs only use adjectives because they describe the state of the subject and they do not describe actions. They only describe states. Whenever there is a state involved, we use adjectives, not adverbs. And whenever actions are involved, we use adverbs. She feels good about her decision. She feels good. This is correct because good is an adjective and feel is a linking verb. But it's wrong to say she feels well about her decision because well is an adverb and it can't be used with a linking verb. Adverbs like only, even, almost, just, merely, hardly, and also have to be dealt with very carefully because the placement of these adverbs in sentences can completely change the meaning. So you have to use them close to the word you want to modify. For example, I only called her. This is the only thing I did. I called only her. I didn't call anyone else. Only I called her. No one else called her. It was just I. I called only to check on her. That is the mere reason I called. to check on her. In my previous video, I gave you detailed explanations on comparatives and superlatives and all the spelling rules. The same is applied to adverbs. One-syllable adverbs or two-syllable adverbs ending in Y get the ER when they're used to compare two actions. And in superlatives, they use the adverb ESC. For example, fast, one syllable, faster. And the superlative form is the fastest. If you need information on what syllables are, check out my video that I've linked here and also in the description. It's all about pronunciation in English. And for long adverbs, you will use more or less plus the adverb to make them comparative, like more excitedly, and the most or the least adverb to use them as superlative adverbs like the most excited. To compare two actions, you can also use equatives, as adverb as or not as adverb as. For example, athlete A ran as fast as athlete B. Athlete C did not run as fast as athletes A and B. To show change, such as an increase or a decrease, use comparative and comparative, just like adjectives. For example, he's working harder and harder. It shows an increase. They are carrying out the experiment more and more carefully. So their carefulness in carrying out the experiment is increasing. Again, it is an upward trend. To show a cause and effect relationship, you will use the comparative, comma, the comparative. For example, the more you focus on your own life, comma, the better you get at improving it. So true. The more you work on your own life to see what your problems are and how you can solve them, the better you will get at everything instead of minding other people's businesses, because it'll change nothing about our lives, will it? It won't. Enough and to are adverbs that can be used to modify other adverbs. Enough is used to indicate adequacy, and enough is used after adverbs, A, B, C, D, E. Adverb starts with A, enough starts with E, so adverb enough. For example, he talked loudly enough for the crowd to hear. To, on the other side, is used to give your sentence a negative meaning or your adverb a negative meaning, and it is used before the adverb. For example, my neighbors were arguing too loudly, so I couldn't sleep at all last night. The way they were arguing was too loud and it wouldn't let me sleep. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking that little button in the right hand corner. I am very close to hitting my first 1,000 subs on YouTube, which I'm really excited about, so please support me. Also, if you have any questions about adverbs or anything English, please ask them in the comments. I read all the comments and I always reply. Also, don't forget to check out my shorts. I share lessons there every single day. And take care, guys. See ya.